Record on this. So thank you all for coming, and Libby in the middle of your move. Wow. Appreciate you.
I so appreciate the recordings, because there's so much information. It's really helpful. So thank you,
Oh,
Feather and
good, good. Well, welcome everybody. I suspect that a lot of people are watching this via Zoom, I mean recording. So I just wanted to say a few things. I'm not in my usual place. I'm in on the Cape today in the little shack here. Um, but we started this partially because we met at the convention, the Oil Doterra convention, and they came out with a new product that seemed really interesting to us. And we were like, what else can we do to increase our metabolism? And so we thought, what a great time to have a challenge that just like encourages each other. And I was just going to say that I did this flower arranging this weekend for a friend's Oktoberfest, and I sent the pictures to Lucy, and Lucy did her own flower arranging for a party she's having tonight, and the pictures were beautiful. And she wrote, "You inspired me." And this morning I did my little exercise routine down to the beach and went into the water in what are we, October 21st. And I say back to Lucy, "You inspire me," because Lucy has been doing this all year long. She goes like every week and jumps into the ocean. She lives in Nantucket. And I thought this would be a perfect thing to talk about in a future video about the Wim Hof thing. So Lucy, could you just quickly mention something about what you've learned about it?
So yeah, thanks, Sarah. So I've been doing it for probably, I don't know, 6, 7 years. I have a guy in Ireland. He's a breeding specialist, and people come from all over the world to work with him. But he's always said, it's so good for your body to go into the cold water, and so that's what we've been doing. And I've inspired a couple of more people. So we have a little group, especially during the winter, because we don't want to go in by ourselves in case we get a heart attack. But no, but it's great. And it's interesting because, like I said, I've been doing it for many years. And one of my, she's an energy worker. She said like that I have so much inflammation in my body because I would crave the cold water, like absolutely crave it. I wouldn't be the same if I didn't jump in the morning. And she said I had so much inflammation in my body. That's what it was, the attraction. So now I don't go as often as I used to, but if I have, I'll still go like, during the week, but before I would go probably like every second day. And it's the best feeling you can have. The other thing I was going to say was that, because I'm not craving it as much now. And I spoke to my guy, Charlie McGuire, a couple of weeks ago, and he said, "You're not breathing properly if you're not craving it, Lucy." So he gave me some breathing exercises that he gave me many, many years ago. But then, I start off really good and then I go back to my old habits. So I thought that was interesting. So that's what I said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I feel like this is of course another way that we can the host has spotlighted your video for everyone. Would you like to unmute your mic? Okay. So I feel like this is another way that we can increase our metabolism. So we'll be talking about that in a future video. And so I'm just going to share my screen here. So welcome to week 3 of this challenge. And we really want this to be inspiring. I mean, that's what this is all about is, get out there and do what you have to do. Whether it's, today we're going to be talking about exercise, but we talked last week about food. And so let's see here. So we're in this metabolism challenge. How can you boost your metabolism, and how can we do it together? You all know me, so I'm not going to go through this again. And I think by now you know Maria. And and then you know that we really are on a mission to change the way we care for our bodies, our families, our world. We want to be inspiration to whoever watches this. And then we have Feather here. We introduced her last week. She's been amazing at helping with our technology. And also, she's a havening queen. So if you missed last week, Feather, can you talk a little bit about havening and put us through something?
Sure. Let me get myself up here. Let's see. Gallery. This is why you have somebody else do it, right? I'm gonna add me. Okay. So havening is a neurosensory neurochemistry brain hack. I'm gonna call it that. But the original protocol was designed by an MD with a PhD in organic chemistry. So this is very much based on what happens with the electrocutical response of touch on your skin. So the 3 parts of the protocol that I introduce and that are taught in the training, I'm a certified practitioner, is touching on the face. Any way that feels good for you. I actually like the whole heart face, go from my third eye down my cheeks to my chin. Some people just like to do around the forehead or even just the third eye. Some people like to do just the cheeks. If you're doing it to a child, the cheeks or the forehead usually work pretty well. They let you, children will let you do that. And then that actual electrocutical response in the body has actually been shown in scientific research to elevate your baseline delta wave, which is a slow brain wave that usually is attained in deep sleep or deep meditation. So it elevates that up to 90 times that baseline, which is kind of phenomenal. That's why I call it a brain hack. And the other 2 touches that we teach are the hands, which is what Sarah's doing right now. She's doing her hands. And just slow, and you may, in your mind's eye, remember seeing people, you know, giving a talk or a lecture and doing this with their hands, maybe rolling the chalk between their hands, but doing this, right? Because it helps lower the cortisol and the anxiety that norepinephrine causes, and it gives you more focus to have those anxiety chemicals lowered. And the other part is from the top of the shoulder down to the elbow, and you lift your hand and you do top of the shoulder down to the elbow. And you may, you know, have a recollection in your life where somebody was distressed and you reach out and you touch their shoulder, and you just, because it's like the least intrusive, right? Reaching out and touching someone's shoulder and running your hand down the side of their arm. It's not very intrusive. It shows that you are caring, and it also gives a delta wave response. So with these 3 ways of creating that electroceutical response, we not only downregulate those stress hormones or stress chemistries, we also elevate what I like to call the alchemy of the gods cocktail. So that's GABA, oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin. And we don't have to go into anything else for you to know that if you use this with your positive intention, positive mantras, prayers, I do it while I'm doing some of my lower body exercises. Like I will do something like Qigong called Wang Ji Wu. And there's some exercises where I do this on my face, and I just say, you are strong and flexible. I am strong and flexible. And I just add that in whenever I can. And pretty much I don't really deserve the title queen, but this is a lifestyle for me. Havening is something I do almost unconsciously in my day, every day. So I just encourage you to do it as you're making your intentions to increase your metabolism, that whatever way you want to say, like, what if I can increase my metabolism by, and because I will, what if I can increase my metabolism because I can choose to, and then, fill in your own blank, make a good choice about food, exercise for 10 minutes, breathe, whatever it is. And maybe Sarah, you want to add something to it. And, oh, the oils. I'm getting into the oils. So I have also added the oils. Right now I've got clary sage on my wrists for the intuitive, and I've got something else in the diffuser. I'm experimenting, but havening is really wonderful for experiencing the oils, because you can put it on your wrists or the top of your hands, and when you're giving yourself the havening touch, you also give yourself that aroma with the intention. So I'm sure there's oils that go with the MetaPWR, right?
Yeah.
Over to you,
Yeah.
Sarah.
Yeah, well, so Maria, we'll talk about that at the end. Awesome, thank you, Feather. So, Maria, you want to just say something?
Sure. Yeah, I just wanted to open today with, if anybody has questions they want just about the process, or specific questions that you might have about the MetaPWR or the metabolism right now, we can kind of pop them out at the beginning. If not, we will go into the material and then we'll be all sharing after that. So I just wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity, if anybody had any questions at the beginning, that we address that.
Lucy.
So I missed last week, but the questions you're talking about, like my routine, is that and the meta?
Any questions?
Yeah. So I'm actually feel like I'm hungrier than I have been, and I've gained quite a bit of weight, and I feel constipated, and I'm not sure what I'm doing.
Okay, that's
So I'm a week and a half doing. Sarah told me what to, like, the procedure and stuff, and I'm sticking to it, but it's frustrating because I was thinking, and last night I ate I've actually eaten more sugar than I have without it. So
okay.
And I ate because there was nothing in the house that wasn't sugary except Nutella, and I think the last time I ate Nutella was years and years ago, and I'm scooping it out of the.
Okay, so that's a great question, and interestingly, I've had a similar reaction with the appetite being increased. So what I think is that will be something that we will be discussing afterwards, and so I'm bookmarking that, and we can definitely share our experiences around that. So thank you.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Okay, so this week what we've been doing for the new people today is that we've been working off this original list of 11 things we can do to improve our metabolism, and every week we pick one or two, or so last week we talked about food and protein and green tea, and this week, and drinking more water, and this week we're going to be talking about exercise. And one week we're going to be talking about things to decrease stress. So havening will be we'll even do more of havening, and we'll be doing, just talking about how other techniques to reduce stress, Reiki, and then we're going to be talking about sleep. And now I think we're also going to be talking about cold water and Wim Hof. And so, always at the end we talk about the MetaPWR. So last week I just said what we talked about. We opened up the conversation about what and really we want people to commit. So we want people to show up to the live event, because it's powerful to be here and saying this is what I'm committing to, because you can't not do it. I mean, I guess you could, but so I've been, exercising every day since I started this, and it's awesome. Like, I had gone on a 6-month hiatus of no exercise. So, and I'm going to up the game today because we're talking about exercise. So, today we're going to talk about exercise, what exercise works best, a bit more about MetaPWR, and then open the conversation. So, exercise. So, who here is exercising? Raise your hand.
Yay.
And Maria is, right? And I am. Libby, have you been exercising? No. Yeah, you have too much on your plate. Well, so we really hope that it sinks in that our bodies are a temple, and that really, like anything. And so we're going to introduce something that's so simple that you can do. And it's a Zach Bush exercise. It's on YouTube. We've shared it in the chat. It's 4 minutes, 3 times a day, and it's awesome. So, anything. Just, I mean, it doesn't have to be much. It could, and so we're going to talk about all of it. So as part of this challenge, can you commit right here, right now, to starting some sort of exercise? Whether, it doesn't have to be big. Why we don't exercise. There's so many reasons why we don't exercise. We don't enjoy it. We keep quitting. We can't afford a gym membership. We're not seeing changes. We don't know how. We have kids. We're stressed. We're moving. We're tired. We're sore. We can't commit. We don't have time. So it's really important to find something that you can commit to. It doesn't, before running, I was dancing every day because I love dancing. And so just to move your body. So how much exercise should you do? The American College of Sports Medicine current recommendations is 150 minutes of moderate aerobic exercise per week. So that means 30-minute workout 5 times a week, or 35 to 40-minute workout every other day. Or you could even do a 75-minute session per week twice, and that's going to be as beneficial as spreading the sessions throughout the week. So exercise can be stressful to the body, and so you definitely need to have recovery time, especially if you're really going for the exercise. And exercising too much can also weaken your immune system. So take it slow. You don't have to, just begin by slowly moving your body. It can help hormonal imbalances, your depression, chronic fatigue. Risk, it improves your immune system. So more recommendations, as we said, 150 minutes. Find the exercise that's right for you. Brisk walking seems to be the preferred aerobic exercise, and that is totally awesome if you can just get out and take a beautiful walk in nature. That's like one of the best things you can do. So what I've chosen to do is vigorous intensity aerobic exercise, and then resistance exercise for muscle strengthening. So this is the recommendation right here. 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity and 2 times per week of muscle strengthening, 2 or more days a week that work all major muscle groups. So we'll talk a little bit about building muscle and why that's important. Strength training 2 to 3 times a week, engaging your isotonic and isometric exercises, targeting multiple muscles or muscle groups, and modifying movements where needed. So although the difference isn't huge, the reason that you want to do resistance training and form muscle is because muscle burns more calories than fat, and breaking down so the process of the body attempting to recover or return to its resting state after a workout produces an extra calorie burn that can last for several hours to more than a full day. So that's why we're going to talk about high intensity interval training, which is, a few minutes on and then a few minutes off. And that's why that is more useful to increasing your metabolism than just taking a jog, because your body is needing to come back. And so it burns more calories by like having to go back up and back down and back up. So this afterburn effect is known as, in the scientific lingo, as excess post exercise oxygen consumption. So maybe you've seen that places, this EPOC. So the higher the intensity of your workout, the longer the EPOC will last. And research shows that strength training can enhance and extend the EPOC, especially when it's done as part of a high intensity interval training workout. So isometric exercise, it's the type of exercise that's low impact, that activates muscles without movement. So like if you hold plank, or you sit by the wall, or you do warrior pose, or you do boat pose, all of these are just, static. And so that's what isometric is. And then isotonic are ones where your muscles are moving. It involves putting a constant amount of weight or tension on your muscles while moving your joints through a full range of motion. So push-ups, squats, crunches, tricep dips, donkey kicks. So exercise offers incredible benefits that can improve nearly every aspect of your life. Regular physical activity can increase the production of hormones that make you feel happier. Exercise has been shown to help you sleep better, improves your skin's appearance, it can help you lose weight, can lessen the risk of chronic disease, can improve your sex life. So many reasons why we should all be moving our bodies. But 1 in 4 adults do not get enough daily physical activity, and we are the 46th out of 193rd most inactive nation. So pretty incredible that this isn't, stressed more in our lives. What does this do to us? Not to exercise, it increases our risk of developing depression and dementia by 70%, causes us as a nation to spend up to $190 billion on obesity and related problems, increases our risk of getting cancer according to the American Cancer Society, and increases our chance of dying young. People who are active for 7 hours a week are 40% less likely to die young than those who exercise for 30 minutes or less. These are just, we'll move through this. This is more of what I just said. It just improves everything in your body. You can imagine just, you're moving around the blood and the oxygen and, so really important. So this is what I've been doing. High intensity interval training. It includes repetitions of short bursts of high intensity exercise followed by low intensity exercise or rest periods. It's so simple. Sometimes I do the warm up brisk walk, but sometimes I just go right into it, and you just run as fast as you can for a minute, and then you walk for 2 minutes, and it feels so good. And 2 minutes is like, wow, that was a long time. And then you run, and then you walk, and then you run, and and that's a 20-minute interval training. And that's what I've been doing. Hopefully, at some point might do something different, but right now that's what I'm doing. The studies that show that this high intensity interval training have, many studies that show that this is really a great way to exercise. So here's a study that showed a group of women who followed 8-second sprints. So like you can pick whatever. I just did the 1 minute, 2 minute because that's easy, but you can do 8 seconds and 12 seconds, or you can make it up. Sometimes I have my dog with me and he just wants to keep running. So, it doesn't matter. Just like get out there and do something. 8-second sprint followed by 12-second rest repeated 3 times in a minute for 20 minutes. Lost 6 times more body fat than a group that followed a 40-minute cardio program performed at a constant intensity of 60% of their maximum heart rate. So that's 3 8-second sprints a minute for 20 minutes. Very intense, but it's over quickly. And then there's Tabata. I had tried this summer. In 1996 study about Tabata. You can go on YouTube and put in Tabata, and you can find many different Tabata protocols. But so this one in 1996 studied 8 intervals of 20 seconds, all out intensity exercise followed by 10 seconds of rest, and then a 2-minute cool down. So, the Tabata one I chose off of YouTube was doing all sorts of, you were running in place, and then you were doing push-ups, and then you were, but it's awesome. It's to music, and it was hard, but fun. And some of the things I couldn't do, but so you try it, and with only 8 minutes every 3 days, you can turn your body into a fat-burning super engine. This boosted conditioning in elite athletes. So, so we talked about that. Wait, am I going backwards? Huh. Or maybe let me look at this here. I don't know what happened there, but University of Western Ontario research found that subjects who did 4 to 6 30-second sprints with 4 minutes rest after each sprint lost twice the fat of a steady state group. So there are lots of studies that show this. So, and it's really, I think, because you're bringing yourself back down, and then you have to rev yourself back up. And so that, with the epoch is what burns the fat. So other evidence suggests that another effective method is the 30-30 method. So 30 seconds of exercise followed by 30 seconds of rest repeated in a 20-minute interval. It really doesn't matter as long as you're doing a burst of exercise and then taking a break. Ideas to help you get moving: switch your morning commute from vehicle transport to walk. Can help you lose weight. Park at the grocery store far away. A single 40-minute walk per day at an average pace can burn up to 220 calories. Find a partner who will keep you accountable. That's what we're here for. Check out an app to keep you motivated. Go onto YouTube, get a motivating YouTube video. Reward yourself. Borrow a dog. Sign up for a charity race. More ideas: try a new sport, get a group of friends to play soccer or ultimate frisbee, set up a competition with your kids or friends, get a coach, start slow, set out your workout clothes the night before. Yeah, that's the thing. I have felt accountable to this group. Sometimes I don't feel like going. Partly I have a dog and I have to go, but partly I'm well, I have to do this. So use us as an accountability partner. Hide your keys in your workout bag. Take the stairs. Get dropped off away from your destination. Dance whenever you can. Keep track of your steps. And then there are all the classes, video games, walks in nature, cable offers, exercise packages, fitness apps, boot camps. Get out there and exercise. And it's been found that if you can say what your motivation is, that can help too. So if you can't fit into your clothes, or you feel out of shape and badly about yourself, or you want to look good for an upcoming event, find your reason and make a definable goal. So this has also been something that's been researched. So if you, instead of just saying, oh, I want to run a 5K, if you make it, it's about accountability. If you make a plan, I want to run a 5K in June. In order to achieve this, I will start with a brisk walk 3 times a week. And you make the plan in your head, it will happen more readily. And so plan, just like you plan for your meals from before. It's, planning is really important. You can fit, how can you fit exercise into your schedule every day? And then making it a habit. Another key component of exercise success is to stick to a routine. A review of studies concluded that replacing an unhealthy behavior with a new healthy habit is a great approach to maintaining it in the long term. Keep at the same time every day. It helps sustain your routine. So these are, you might want to take a picture of this. These are really good workouts that you can, this is like 9 quick total body workouts that, so all of these you can just plug into and see if any of them speak to you. Okay. And then the only other thing is that I did put in the chat, oh, wow, there's a lot in the chat. Well, so this, I'll just show you quickly. This is Zach Bush.
So
this
here
is
we go. We're going to take this through, and we're going to go through 3 sets of this. But I want to take you through slowly the first set here and the actions that you're going to be doing.
So you can just go right into this.
It's more important that you do the form right and get your pace built up over time.
So it's 4 minutes. It's 4 minutes. You can do 4 minutes 3 times a day, and it's, it's like this. It's just squats and then arm pumps and then arms above the head, and it's 4 minutes. So try it, see if you like it. It's cool. I know Lindsay told me that she's been doing it. So where are we now? Oh my goodness, where am I?
I did put that link in the chat.
Oh,
for
okay.
Zach Bush, and note again that, so I have a lot of replaced joints, so I couldn't do the speed that he presents it at.
Right.
Just put it down to 75%, and it changes it, and you can follow along with the correct form. And Sarah, if you have the MetaPWR, you want the MetaPWR PDF in there, I'll put it in.
Sure. I had lost my slides. Where the heck did they go? When I jumped onto the Zach Bush thing, I guess I'll have to go looking for them again. I don't. Oh, here they are. Okay. So now we are turning it over to Maria to talk a little more about MetaPWR.
Okay, Sarah, that's such awesome information. Thank you so much. I'm already inspired to do a bunch of different things to add to what I've been doing. And the and I was going to say, your skin today, I know you said you jumped in the ocean this morning, and just, seeing the glow in your face and the roses in your cheeks, you can see the evidence of these things. So the MetaPWR, I just wanted to point out here that, I wrote in the chat, my reason for exercising is more for, my long-term health. I want to be around for a long time, to be here with my family, to play with my grandkids, to be, working with other people. And so this idea of health span versus lifespan, yes, we can live a nice, healthy, long life if we add these things in, or if we choose not to, then we might live a long life, but not with good health. And so for me, the MetaPWR inspiration is this idea of really looking at health span versus lifespan. So the essential oil blend is the lemon, grapefruit, cinnamon bark, ginger, and peppermint, when all of these oils individually have been shown to improve metabolism. And together, the synergistic blend is just off the charts in terms of even the clinical research that Doterra has been doing about how these essential oils can really make a difference, in addition to all these other things that we're doing. And so, we're never talking about just using a supplement. We're also talking about nutrition, exercise, sleep, managing stress, all of these things that we're talking about. And so just a quick overview, it's the essential oil blend, which also can be in beadlets and the soft gels and the gum. And then there's the MetaPWR Assist, which is an herbal complex, which has mulberry leaf extract and berberine, and it helps to balance out our blood sugar. So I've been taking that with my highest carbohydrate meal. And then the MetaPWR Advantage, which is a collagen blend, which I have been really loving that and seeing the results there. So this is the MetaPWR system that Doterra has come out with. again, realizing that we have this problem in not just in the US, but globally, with obesity, with inactivity, with mental health issues. And so, here this company says, what can we do to support healthy metabolism? And so the system, which many of us are trying, has been really, it's been developed so carefully, and it's been shown clinically to improve all of these areas, including energy, focus, weight loss, weight gain for some people that need that weight gain, and then improved skin, hair, cognition, all of these things. So we're going to just jump into now talking about our experiences. So this weekly check-in that Sarah's got up on the screen, this is a way for us to see the differences week to week. And so, like, I can see the differences in people that have been using it, and they're talking about, this is what I'm experiencing, I've lost this amount of weight, but for each of us to keep track. And so I've been doing this, and it's been really interesting to see from the beginning what I've been experiencing. So should I just jump in and share my experience really quickly?
Yeah.
Okay. So Lucy, like you, the first week I was ravenous when I started using the MetaPWR Assist. I was using the essential oil blend in my water in a glass container, not plastic. That's really important because it does have the citrus in it. And then I was using I have been using the MetaPWR Assist with my highest carbohydrate meal, which for me is usually breakfast. And also these oils are really energizing for me. So I don't like using them in the evening, because I did notice when I used them in the evening, I was having a harder time sleeping. So I like to use the MetaPWR Assist in the morning with my breakfast, which is usually kind of late morning because I do a little bit of intermittent fasting. Like I said, I'm excited about increasing my overall health span so that I'm here for a long time and I'm healthy. And then my commitment to all of you was that I was going to increase my exercise. So what I have noticed so far with increasing my exercise, using the MetaPWR system and being accountable to all of you, is that before I started MetaPWR, my skin it's pretty dry here in Montana. And my skin was getting really, really dry and itchy. I'd get in bed at night and I would just have itchy skin. Since I've started the MetaPWR, I believe it's the advantage, but again, it's a system, so who knows? That has completely disappeared. So that was very exciting. I've lost 3 pounds now. My energy and my focus is really high. And so, looking at it week to week, it's been pretty high right from the beginning. So that's been fun to see. Positivity. I have had some challenges in the past couple of months, and I seem to have an ability to have a little bit more equanimity around it. So that's been exciting to see. And I've also been scheduling, if I'm meeting with somebody for business or pleasure, I say, let's go for a walk. So instead of sitting and having tea, we're walking. So an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours goes by, and we're just chatting away, and we also exercise. So I've increased not just the, 2 to 3 times a week exercise increasing, but doing those walking meetings. So that's been really huge for me. And then if I go to the grandkids, my oldest grandson has soccer. And so instead of sitting and watching the game, I walk around the field. And I said, I let him know I'll be walking, but I'll be watching you. And that way I'm exercising instead of sitting for an hour. So all of those little things have been my additions. And so, Lucy, I did want to address the appetite piece. I was talking with some doTERRA, other wellness advocates who have been piloting this for longer. And they did want to make sure that we talked about this possibility of detox issues that can come up. And so whether it's a change in the digestion, or whether it's a change in energy or headaches or different things that we're noticing that are not positive at the beginning. And for me, it was that increased appetite. And I was looking at that and I'm thinking, why am I just so voracious? And I'm realizing that for me, I probably don't eat enough healthy food. I eat healthy things, but I don't eat lots of lots of vegetables, huge portions of vegetables, enough fiber, that kind of a thing. And so for me, I think that what it's doing in boosting my metabolism is saying, you need to be eating more food. You need to be eating more healthy food. And of course, there's not always, 2 drawers full of vegetables in our refrigerator. There's, there's usually at least one, but there's also other things around. And, especially now I have this dairy cow, so there's always milk. So I'm drinking more raw milk. And so just being cognizant of what we need to add in. Our bodies are probably starved for nutrients unless we're eating that 9 to 12 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. I also tend to gravitate to fruits, which is higher sugar, and I need to increase the really good, the leafy greens, the range of vegetables that I might not be eating as much of. So I think for me, that increase in metabolism, that increase in appetite was like, how can you eat the healthier things and stay away from the sugars? But again, sugar is our body's craving for energy. So those are things to look at. And then there's different things that we can do to address maybe some of the not so positive side effects. And one of those, especially if things aren't moving through our digestion as quickly, is, are we really increasing our intake of water? And that's the first thing I look at. So increasing the water consumption, moving our bodies more. The cold water for me is, I love doing that when I do it, but it's always hard to get myself to do it. But again, that's a constriction of our body. And so I know that my digestion flows more freely when I'm in warm weather. And so we have to look at all of these things. So, just in terms of the things that you might be experiencing with this challenge that are not appearing to be so positive at the beginning, looking at them and saying, what's going on there? What is my body trying to tell me? So I'd love to open it up to the rest of you.
Awesome. Am I muted or not muted? I can't. Yeah. So thank you so much, Maria. That was an awesome little excerpt. And I just would add that, protein, especially now in the fall with the cold and the, New England, and, our bodies are like revving up and getting colder and tensing up, and protein. I mean, I think protein cannot be, we need more protein. And so vegetables for sure. I mean, I've noticed that when we're part of a CSA, and we've just been like given so many beautiful vegetables, nutrient dense vegetables, and we just have more and more. And I've committed to making sure that we cook everything and not let anything go rotten. And so I notice that when I have more nutrient dense foods, I don't have cravings. And so I definitely think the whole vegetable thing, but then also adding protein. So that would be my recommendation. But who else wants to say something? We'd love to hear from you.
I'll just say, because I'm a single person and I have trouble making meals a priority all the time. And I feel that it is possible to have good frozen vegetables, which make it really easy and quick to add that in. It shrinks down the time management part to feel a little bit more manageable and possible for me to just, okay, I've got carrots and squash and broccoli and cauliflower and all that stuff in the freezer all cut up. I even buy chopped onions frozen. Although I just want to make a big pitch, an onion chopped up or in anything that I'm making seems to be a big satisfying thing. I think it's the crunch. I don't and garlic, of course, which is tedious to take out of the shell and everything, but it's well worth it. So I just, in the antioxidant path that I've tried to be on, I did watch some videos about making very vegetable rich dishes very quickly, and frozen vegetables. You can get organic frozen vegetables, and sometimes the quality of a frozen vegetable, the nutrient in it is actually better than like a conventional fresh vegetable in the grocery store. Nutrient density is something that I've been watching for many years, so you can learn more about it if you want to check that out. There's an organization that is measuring and promoting and supplying the materials for agricultural to grow more nutrient dense foods, including meats, because it has to do with the quality of the forage and the pasture.
Awesome. Thank you, Feather. Anyone else? Okay, well, let's see. Oh, Maria, did you want to say something?
Sorry, I'm typing things in here. So regenerative agriculture, this whole concept of that, there's a book called Dirt to Soil, which really is fascinating about the health of our soil and related to the health of our food. I believe his name is Gabe Brown, but I'm not positive. But also seasonally, thinking about, Sarah, you talked about going into the fall. So maybe those raw vegetables are not going to be so great for us as we're heading into this colder season. So the soups, the stews, the green powders, even, dehydrating and powdering some of the vegetables and then adding them to our soups and stews, making everything more digestible right now. Also with cold water plunges and things like that, when we're looking at changing the temperature of our body, we want to be thinking about what we're putting into our body, making it as bioavailable as possible. And so again, I keep coming back to this, why was I was literally ravenous the first 2 weeks I started using MetaPWR. And it's like, why is this going on? And then looking at not only what I'm eating, but when I'm eating it, how I'm eating it, how I'm cooking it. And Feather, those are such good ideas too, because we can't always get those fresh vegetables seasonally, but we can still include them in the food that we're eating. So lots of great ideas here. And then the exercise pieces, yes, it's hard, especially, for those of you in the New England winters, and here I'm in the Montana winter, it's a whole different thing about pulling in and getting cozy. The whole concept of hygge, or what's the Swedish one? I can't even say the word, but that whole concept of coziness, but also outdoor living. And so looking at the Swedish concept is like, how do we get out in nature in the winter? We bundle up and we do these things. And so holding each other accountable, I think is huge here to say. I'm so inspired to do the cold water plunges again. There's a woman named Jonna Jinten. She's Swedish, and she's got a lot online, and she started doing the ice bathing, where they literally cut a hole at the shore of the water and then they do these plunges. And she said she was dreading winter so much because those Swedish winters are so long and cold, and she had to embrace that cold season. And so she started doing these cold water plunges. And so she's this beautiful young woman, and she's very inspiring to see what she's doing too. But Lucy and Sarah, I am inspired. We have plenty of cold water around here that I could go dunk in.
So Maria, one question. Are you still ravenous?
Good question. No. The first 2 weeks, literally ravenous. And I'd never been that hungry that consistently. And now it's completely evened out. What I've noticed is I'm making really healthy, big breakfasts. Lots of vegetables, eggs, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and then some healthy carbohydrates with that. And that seems to really be helping. And then I did pop in the chat the healthy fats, the avocados, the I can't do nuts. I love nuts, but my body doesn't love nuts. And so, I actually have been eating butter. I've got this beautiful raw milk, and I've been making butter. And so a little bit of sourdough bread with the butter on it. And so just trying to think about what are the things that are giving me lots of nutrition but that satisfy that need for the cravings. The sweet cravings completely dropped away. They were there in that first week, I'd say, Lucy, and then those dropped away. And when you said Nutella, that just made me laugh, because Nutella is one of those, like, you know, oh my gosh, it's so good. And there's a health food variety of Nutella that when I found that, I felt very virtuous, but it's still, you know, not great for us. So it was one of those things where when I discovered Nutella, it was like, what is this?
Yeah,
Heather.
Heather.
So I think it's really interesting to talk about when we eat our big meals. So I have to have a good breakfast or I'm totally wrecked for part of the day. And also, I mean, I've done it myself. I have real challenges with my whole digestion, so I can't be a good measure here for losing weight, but eating the dinner before 4 o'clock in the afternoon and keeping the evening eating to, you know, the small kind of thing that might even make you sleepy, like the carbohydrate, seems to be one of the things that I've heard works really well for some people. And I've tried to make that the evening meal, not the biggest meal of the day. So breakfast and what I call, you know, the midday dinner. And then what in Northern New York on Sunday afternoons, they call lunch, which is what you eat before you go to bed, you know. So I don't know if other people have had that experience, but I definitely know people in my life who've lost weight doing that and gained energy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really important. You know, like in Chinese medicine or in Ayurvedic medicine, they talk about, you know, if we're eating after a certain time, then our body is working so hard and then we're not sleeping as well and we're not metabolizing things well. So yeah, those are all important concepts. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, thank you for joining us. We are so appreciative that you showed up, and we hope that this inspires you to get out there and do some work for yourself. And we're not exactly sure what next week is going to hold. Maybe stress. What do you think, Maria? Do you?
I think that will probably be a good one for next week.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so we look forward to seeing you next week, and have a great week.
Take care. Recording.
Oh, I can't get out of my slides. Let me see here.
Stop recording.
Yeah.